In this session we'll be going to create a code deploy pipeline in AWS. So let's start off with the session. So in the initial stage, let us get into our instances. So there are two instances right now running, and I need a code deploy pipeline. You need to go to the search bar and then you need to search for code deploy. As you can see, we got a code deploy, and click on that. We will get onto this page. After that, we need to create a application. Now click on the create application. After that, you can see the application name. You can enter any application name which you want, and you need to select the EC2 on premises, the second option. After that, you can see a page on which you need to create a deployment groups. Now click on create deployment group. You will get to this page. So after this, you need to enter the name of the group which you want, and after that, in the service role, you need to select EC2 code deploy, and scrolling down, you can leave it as it is. Now select on the Amazon EC2 instance, and here you need to give the key. Make sure that this key was given during the creation of the instance. So as you can see, there are two matching instances for this keyword. If you are getting this, then it means that you have entered the right name. So moving on to the next part, they are asking install the AWS Codedeploy agent. So you need to make sure the instance on which you are deploying the code should have installed Codedeploy agent. So to check that the Codedeploy agent is working or not, you need to go to Google and search for Codedeploy agent check, and you can get the code from there. Copy the code directly and paste it in your AWS putty, which is this. As you can see, after entering, this shows the active running status, which means the code deploy agent is installed and is successfully running. If it is not installed, you need to install this. I will show that in another video, but for now, if you want to install, you can click on learn more and follow this instruction to install the code deploy agent on your instance. There are different procedures to install code deploy agent for different OS. For example, Windows, Ubuntu, or AWS in AWS OS. So you can follow these instructions, or you can follow my other videos. So moving on to the next part, you can scroll down and click on the deployment settings. Select the code deploy one at a time. Now after this, disable the load balancer, as we don't require it right now, but in the future if you want, you can add, and create the deployment group. Now as you can see, the deployment group has been successfully created, and now moving on to the next part. So after this, now we need to create a deployment pipeline. So go to the pipelines and pipelines, click on the pipelines. After that, now we need to create a new pipeline. As you can see, I have already created it before. Now click on the create pipeline. Now enter a name whichever you need. So I will give it my care team 1 to pipeline. After this, click on the next button. Now here you need to give the GitHub repository. Either it can be version 1 or 2. Click on this. Now click on the connect to GitHub button. You need to know your GitHub username and password and log in to your GitHub account. Now let me enter my username and password over here and sign into my GitHub account. Now click on the confirm button. As you can see, GitHub is now connected with the Amazon AWS. Now you can search for your repository, whichever you need to deploy it. So let me search my repository over here. So in the repository you need to have a script and input output JavaScript file and the index file. Let me show you my GitHub repo. So I will give my GitHub repo link in the description. You can fork it or you can clone it from there, or you can directly download it and upload it in your GitHub account. As you can see, it has a script file and an index.html file. So going to the index, it is a simple HTML page, and going on to the script file, here are the instructions which need to be executed. Here is the run httpd command. You can change this as your convenience, and this is the start command to start the server and to stop the server. So let me select the main branch and then click on the next button. I can skip this builder option. If you want, you can choose this in the future. Let me skip it for now, and then moving on to the next step. And now select the code deploy agent, and you need to search the deployment name, application name, and select the deployment group and click on the next button. And as you can see, the code deploy pipeline details over here. Check for the details and click on create pipeline. You need to wait for some time, and now the pipeline is successfully created, and the AWS Codedeploy is collecting the resources from the GitHub repo which we have given. And after the repo code is collected, as you can see, it is successfully collected the code repo. Let me wait for some time for the deployment to complete. And now the deployment has successfully completed. Now let me go to my instance, click on my instance, and click the public IP. So this is not HTTPS enabled, so let me edit the URL and erase the S from HTTPS. And now as you can see, my website is live. The index.html page which I had selected is now live. Now let me edit some components in the GitHub, and let's check if it has been changed in the AWS. Let me go to the index.html and change it to my name. Let me edit this. I will write my name and commit changes. Let me go back to my AWS and refresh, and deployment has started. And the code is deployed. Let me go back to my website and refresh, and as you can see, my name has appeared over here.